That they do. We're going to hop into this second map, 100 Thieves versus T1. And again, we have the sides. T1 on the attacking, 100 Thieves on defense right now. And we're quick into it. Not even time to look at the comps. It's a quick push up to mid. A difference from what we saw in the pistol round from T1 against Team Ninja, where they went for an A fake into that B site. Maybe they still tend towards this B. As we'll see, they pick up the spike, still lurking towards middle, but still also trying to find their footing as crashies is up, waiting for the smoke to fade and potentially finding himself a kill and a pick onto this B heaven.
The rest of the team fading away. Those smoke's actually just going to get reapplied to the same exact spot by 100 Thieves' Brimstone, so no changes there. We'll have to see a bit more of an aggressive push from the Omen on T1 if they want to move through that, but Valliate with a nice find on the classic from long range, headshots out brax, and all of a sudden, Skadoodle's having second thoughts about swinging out here.
Wonderful stuff from Valliate. And they've held them off a little bit, but no camera for him to spot this. That they're coming through B main, he might get caught out of position. They're already on the site. They've got a wall up and food. Finds yaBoiDre out of the corner, over the wall, but Valliate looking forward. He plays through Cyber Cage, but Brax and Food is looking back and he dominates. And all of a sudden, they're going to have the site to plant that spike. And we've got lurks going on. crashies is still in mid. Pride is aware that that's a potential possibility, but they've got really no room at all to work out this B heaven. Venerated, though, drops down and finds AZK. He gets right into it, quick and dirty, but now by himself. Who tries to find him? Yes, he does. Hiko. Pride still finds crashies the lurker, but it's only now 2 versus 2. Skadoodle trades back on the Venerated. Last player here, Pride, and it's Food with the 4K. That round is done and dusted as Food starts off strong in the pistol round, and T1 again, another pistol. That's 3 now in this series.
Food, of course, doing most of the heavy lifting there, giving props still to some of the other players on 100 Thieves. Valliate opening up the opportunity for 100 Thieves to even get into that site to begin with. Once again, as we saw, post-plant came the issue for them there, or excuse me, as we saw, Valliate able to shut down the initial push and prevent access, but ultimately T1's still able to push through that and get themselves control of B, where they found the plant and are able to win it out there in the post plant once again. T1 in control still to move into the second map here. They're going to look to push that even further now that they have this economy advantage for round 2.
Brax on the raise this time, and they've played this switch multiple times. When we saw them last time, they swapped Food onto the Omen, Brax back onto the Raze, potentially for that extra pizzazz on split. We've seen it be so effective time and time again. Valliate this time does have the camera as they make their approach on the B main. Going to be able to spot the feet. crashies still lurking all the way back in mid. Here's the flash. He's going to be able to spot them. The cage through as well, but only a classic. Might be able to find some damage, but not much. As they all come swinging around the corner, I don't see much work being done. They're actually going to be back off, and now Satchel Charges coming in from the backside. No chance for Valliate. Well done from T1, and that's the patience that Puckett was talking about so much.
Yeah, the patience to kind of gather intel and figure out exactly how they need to approach and execute before they do it is probably going to be a pretty big trademark of smart teams in this game. Now, when we start to see teams be able to do that in incredibly quick fashion, that's when I'm going to start to get really impressed. But T1 has been doing great work of taking things very slowly and tactically when they finally jump back out. They wanted to be careful to avoid the risks of 100 Thieves trying to stack up and knock them out en masse. So obviously they were on an eco for this round. Still finding impact here and there, but unfortunately it's not enough for them to be able to really push for the retake here. crashies finding that most recent pickup against Dre. The rest of the team for 100 Thieves here, just a matter of time before we see them knocked out, as Pride will be the last to fall, and T1 take control of the second round.
They do in convincing fashion, of course, against pistols, but you have to give them credit for the way that they approached it, not letting anybody have room on them. Finally, the first gun round, though, and Hiko and crew will look to respond, look to adjust to so far how T1 has been playing over this entire series. Very slow, very methodical, and also willing to call audibles, but not afraid to get in these early engagements to get that control. And now we see them looking to do that over towards A in the ramps.
Time starts to tick down now that a new round has begun. We've got it all quiet across the battlefield right now. A couple peaks here and there from 100 Thieves, but nothing too crazy. Not trying to push necessarily into areas where T1 would already have control of. T1, though, is going to start to throw a little bit of pressure towards A, most notably up ramp right now. Venerated will more than likely be the first point of contact to mesh against this. I'm being, he'll be smoked out. Prevent access from moving its way forward so easily. A lot of utility being thrown against him, but this is all just so they can get access to the ropes and work their way back into mid instead. They'll take full control there. At the moment, it's uncontested by 100 Thieves. They have realized the fake due to the noise being made in the tunnels. They're going to try and beat them to the rotate, but it seems as though they've lost in that fact. Skadoodle finds the first marker here on the site by eliminating Dre. Valliate is able to hold on, though, just on his lonesome in the corner. More importantly, he drops the spike. Will eventually go down, though, to Food. And that should give the plan opportunity finally over to T1 here.
But a good start from Venerated. He finds 2, and it's now all left to Skadoodle with 1 HP. Heal nowhere to be found. And even though they got juked, even though they got completely what looked like outplayed in the early moments of that round as they pushed up A ramp, took control, and went right back to B. The rotate was very strong from 100 Thieves. But they still make it work as Venerated is the one to get the 2 entries onto that retake in B, but also give credit to Valliate, who was the anchor, the one member who stayed over towards B, and he hangs on, and he hangs on very strong.
Yeah, Valliate really the only reason that doesn't go completely out of their hands at the beginning. He's able to find those 2 kills from the corner. Huge misstep from T1, seeing as they've been very strong on their entries up until this point. It's one of the first times that they've been outright shut down like that and delayed for such a long time, as they actually beat 100 Thieves to the site, despite the fact that 100 Thieves managed to catch the fake pretty quickly. So T1 had a lot of stuff going for them there and still ended up taking the loss on that round. So certainly not a good sign, but also ran into bumps like this back on the last map and very quickly got over it. We don't need to make too harsh of a judgment against them just yet. I want to wait and see what these next couple rounds hold for Team 1.
Perry Orb in mid was going to stop them from taking control over ropes for the time being. Skadoodle is peeking up into B heaven. The opposing player is also peeking, but they're going to get ropes control, get into the vents, and it is going to be Food lurking straight up against, I believe, Hiko on the other side. He's not going to challenge too much, and the spike is over back towards B. So eventually this should be really nice for Brax, and there's paint shells and satchel charges as he finds Valliate's position. Not a cyber cage will chase you or find you. Save you in these situations. Skadoodle with the wall up in heaven as well, and now it's all up to yaBoiDre. Let's see what he can do. Nothing as Skadoodle comes around the corner. Food as well. This round looks cleaned up, and T1 respond again in the same fashion we saw on Ascent, this time on the attack. Whenever 100 Thieves looks to win a round, it's 2 rounds back-to-back. Hiko, last remaining player, yes, he will find 1, and he still has a paint shell, plus the showstopper available, so maybe we speak too soon. It's still a 1v3, though, so still looking very difficult, but we've seen crazier things from Hiko.
Positions to work with here are so tough, and he's got this flank moving in from Brax, which is going to put a very swift end to the clutch attempt. Good try, though, from Hiko. Very smart control over his utility, being able to get this little blast pack kill onto Brax there in the corner, but also good hesitation to not try and use the showstopper in order to entry there. Because if he had done so, it more than likely would have gotten him nothing, and he still ends up getting shot in the back by Brax there.
And so we continue to have the lead from T1. 100 Thieves has not been able to poach that at all from T1 this entire series. Round after round, they try to find something, but really nothing is coming up for them. Oh, what a shot from Brax! Oh my god! 3 kills in a row. That is ridiculous stuff from him to control the aim, and he's got the B site completely free now. 2 more players within the find. Yes, the anti-eco. It was an attempt from 100 Thieves to find something in the round, but Brax says no. No matter what, we will not give you anything. No space, no rounds, no free pickups, no kills. Dominate.
Brax barely letting him react to his peak there before he unloads on him with 3 very fast headshots back to back to back. To pretty much shut down any hope 100 Thieves had. We'll try to close out this round. The 2 remaining players that were over on A are very much going for the save already here. It's on an eco, so there's actually not even much reason to try and fully save here unless they'd bought into armor. At best, I think they're going to try and line themselves up to maybe pick up an exit kill or two if that's going to be a possibility. And I think someone might all tabbed here. Crashy's going to walk up and find Hiko, walk it into a wall and get a free kill on that one with the knife.
Hiko mega lol. Don't know what's going on there. Oh, it's a DC. You can see it now on the tab. So unfortunately.
Oh, he did actually disconnect. Okay.
Yeah, we're going to have hopefully a pause so you can get back into it.
There we go. It's paused.
It would have been funny if it was intentional, though.
I'm just gonna walk into
past
Hiko. Just gonna let Crashy stab me in the back.
Yeah, no problem. It's all good. I gotta get my team back into this. The comms, maybe he was giving some words of encouragement. We've seen things like that happen over time in TAC FPSs. But 4-1 now.
I was gonna say, to be fair for Crashies, it's only his second kill in the game, so it's helping him out a little bit there.
But it doesn't matter. They're not crashing at all. 4-1 is such a good scoreline to start with the attacking side on split, and maybe there's some rumblings of how this map is changing in terms of which side is a little bit more potential to win these maps, but no matter what, from what we've seen so far, it's been kind of one-sided. Yeah. All the way around, no matter what side T1 is on. So I don't think this is really an indication of the map balance.
It's like the entry and first kill capability on defense anyway is just like so strong for T1. They're winning so many of the initial duels as far as I can tell, and it's making it such a tough match for 100 Thieves to fight back from because they're constantly working from a 4v5 and in a lot of rounds like a 3 or a 2v5 as we just saw in the last one there. So constantly having to fight with that deficit has got to be really frustrating as a team.
100%. But I mean, in this case, with the rounds that they have been kind of able to accrue, again, they get reset pretty much every time. This time, though, they invest in the double op. Venerated and Valliate have that one. So maybe they could find something to roll if they maybe switch up the setup that they're doing. Double operator has been so strong, but I'm not sure if on split it's been able to have the presence. I think no matter what map it is, that operator is so strong with the changes it had on release. A couple score updates for you guys. We did have Team Ninja play their first map against Code 7. Code 7 won 13-10, so an impressive performance, I think, from Ninja's team in their final attempt to get a win in this group. And then as well, we had Immortals versus Spot Up. Immortals takes a second map, 13-7, so that's a qualification for Immortals, and unfortunately the end of the road for Spot Up in that do-or-die situation. That's 2 maps in a row, I believe, for Immortals that went 13-7. Still looking for the results in the rest of the do-or-die maps. That's Prospect versus Together We Are Terrific in Group A. And then I believe we also have one more, yes.
Genji versus Mix-Up.
Genji versus Mix-Up, which was in map 1, 13-12 as well. So those are the 2 that I'm really looking to see if it goes the distance.
And we'll hopefully be finding that out very soon as we get the updates. Once again, folks, still just waiting on the reconnect from Hiko here. If we have any updates to that situation, we'll provide them to you as they are given to us. But at the moment, we are just sitting back and waiting. We can continue the discussion about this game where things have continued to flow into T1's favor despite the new map and 100 Thieves getting to start out on the defensive side. Lost the pistol once again. T1's still flawless in pistol wins. 3 in their pocket so far from this matchup. Another area where 100 Thieves has been struggling at, and another factor that's been causing them to be put on the back foot at the beginning of a lot of rounds.
It's definitely been the case. They've just been able to get so much space, T1 has, on all sides of the map. Whenever they want it, they basically take it. I mean, I specifically remember that round where they took the A ramps control to take control of ropes and go back to B. Something that we've seen maybe a couple times, but a little risky, as you obviously have to invest a lot to take that A ramps control, and then when the time comes, pushing over towards B, you have nothing left. I mean, they've done it, and it's worked. Well, 100 Thieves has to find something, and we said it, the double operator's there. I'm just curious on how they're going to use it, and whether they're going to be able to get their confidence back to really put out the strats that we've seen Hiko been able to call. In this case, though, I believe it's Venerated, the IGL. Hiko taking a back seat in that role from his other teams. We do get back underway. Hiko is back in the game. And Brax again taking this control. Like I said, basically whenever they want any sort of control, it's theirs. Brax, remember that 3K that he got quickly on that B main. This time he just peeks it against an operator too. Wide swings, and B main is his. They back off completely.
AZK trying to take a forward position there for T1. He's hoping to find a kill over in the tunnels, but nothing being picked up. And I think ultimately he's been forced to fall back slightly further down mid as the rest of the team takes control on the inside of ropes and is going to try to swing onto the A site. 100 Thieves has an idea of this, but I don't know if they realize how much control T1 already has. Venerated might have a nasty surprise lurking his way over the next couple seconds if he's not very careful about it. Smokes are going to start to plume out onto the site as well. We see an ult and ending up get popped here too to help with the initiation, and T1's going to start rolling out onto the site. 100 Thieves doing a good job of hiding themselves, but where's the trade? They're only keeping themselves alive at this point. They're not stopping the hit. There we go. Hiko with the first pickup, and it's an important one too. But just like that, Brax is going to swing in, trade it back against Hiko, and Ska will res their fallen teammate. The site control now under the control of T1. It's 100 Thieves right at the gates, ready to retake. Venerated gonna move in with the shorty, find one against crashies, eliminating him once again. He's been falling behind a little bit in this map. Venerated continues his reign, finds the next pickup against Food too, bringing T1 down to just 3 players left in this. Dre and Ska are gonna trade out blows. A lot of the control starting to work its way back into 100 Thieves, but is it enough? Only 1 player left standing now. Brax having to pull off 1v3 clutch. The first push against him is not successful. The second push, he's able to line up the spray for that one too. See the grenade go out to try and flush back his last remaining opponent, and he's gonna do it. Brax picking up that final kill there is going to be able to close out on the round for T1 here and allow them to pick up their 5th.
100 Thieves is shambles as Brax picks up the clutch and the 4K in that round. He started things off against Hiko, trading showstoppers, and eventually Hiko's attempt at a hold really was for naught as Skadoodle quickly got that res, but Brax is there in the final moments to outmaneuver the opposing team who was getting so close to the site, so close to that win, but it's just too far away. Another 3 rounds in a row for T1. And I'm wondering now if all hope is lost with Hiko's disconnect too. The morale has to be low for 100 Thieves. And whether or not they truly care about the seed is starting to be in question for me. But no matter what, we'll see if they can, or we'll see if T1 can really close this one out in the same fashion they did it on Ascent. Really putting their stamp on the tournament and starting to, you know, make people question whether or not there's actually hope when you go up against T1. When they dominate 100 Thieves like this, I question it.
Food's gonna quickly deny the port there from 100 Thieves' Omen. T1 on that last round, man, a outright battle happening between the 2 teams as well. That barely stopped. T1 got the site and then immediately had to deal with the retake as they were putting the spike down. So, again, big props to T1 for holding it together amongst all that chaos. 100 Thieves, a valiant attempt, but not enough for them to work their way back onto the site and score a 2nd round. They seem to be trying to read into this being a potential A take, but the only one from T1 that's pushing A right now is going to be the Cypher. So Cypher is trying to fake. He's doing a fantastic job of it, as has pulled everybody from 100 Thieves off the site. It is actually being taken.
Lurks through, gets 3 kills, neural theft as well, but the entire team is on that B-bomb site right now. And 100 Thieves is none the wiser. They're going to realize now, of course, his Cypher's all the way down that, but crashies looking for the ace. He could possibly find it as Valliate is nearby, but going down the ropes, he's not going to be able to do it because, of course, Food is there, and he's ready. 6-1 and a great round from crashies, and also a really nice play out of T1, even though it was anti-eco. The stack was in from 100 Thieves, and they could have fallen into something messy, although even if it was stacked against crashies, he does not care. 4 kills in the round, and also gets the valuable information that A is stacked and B is clear.
T1 really just making themselves a bit of a frag movie on that last round with the way things panned out. Definitely starting to swing pretty heavily into their favor, as you've already mentioned a few times. 100 Thieves falling apart, it seems, once again on map number 2, and could end up leading us into a very quick series if they don't recover quickly. Start off this round, T1 a lot of pressure into mid at the start yet again. 2 players moving up to the big box on the right side, just past the hop-up. to be able to take control of that. At the moment, no contestation here in mid from 100 Thieves. They're sitting back, letting their opponents swing in and take it. Great adjustment from Pride. Gets flashed out by the breach on the other team and still manages to take the win on the initial fight.
Well, Hiko's gonna run into a world of hurt. Yes, AZK is right there. yaBoiDre was nowhere near. And even the Raze is gonna get away. Actually, Orbital Strike now and can find a lot as yaBoiDre is there too. Finally, they take him out, but he tries to make a gamble teleport. Food does. And it's not gonna work out. Skadoodle, the last player. And finally, 100 Thieves finds something on the aggression from Hiko and yaBoiDre down in A. Yes, it wasn't necessarily synchronized, a little solo, maybe too fast from Hiko, but he gets the information and they play off of it with the Orbital Strike too. Out of Pride, off of that Heaven. Well done there. That's the level of team play that we need to see if you want to go against the fundamental play out of T1. The way that they clear these angles as a team every single time is definitely a far cry from what we're seeing from 100 Thieves right now.
Signs of light at the very minimum for 100 Thieves here. Certainly something that they needed to give themselves, and Pride specifically having one of his first standout rounds there with a great 3K hold on the back sight of B itself. Pride once again is going to get a chance to jump right into the action though as he finds a lineup on Skadoodle's head in the first couple seconds of this round. Going to follow this through and probably was going to smoke things out at mid, but has called that off now. They get aggressive here. He's got quite a few players on the other side. The Dark Shroud here in order to try and pick up a few more kills, but be very careful with the aggression. The smokes are not completely flush. Food finds the first response in the meantime for T1. Venerated still trying to keep control of the pipes here. Gotta watch out. T1's getting a lot trickier, a lot quieter. They're not being as direct with their play anymore. And that could be very, very scary for T1.
Well, it could. A lot of time sunk. 40 seconds now. Brax will go with the showstopper to clear out space, and he does get that. But a Molly is put into play to waste the time even further. And the rotate is now on out of A. They could still call the audible. There is time, but they're not going to do that. Choose to go where they know. Pride still here on the site. He's fallen all the way back. A camera to retake. All the way down. Valliate spots it. Cage is out as well. Pride in a good position. This is really good for them. Valliate onto Food. Start things off, but they've got two still left. And Pride in the corner. He gets taken out. AZK left by himself. Hiko will respond, even if AZK looked like he might have done something. There it is. Another round for 100 Thieves. Finally, 2 rounds in a row. I think maybe even the first time in the entire series. You said maybe signs of life. Yes, it's not over yet. It's only a half. Like, we're still in the first half. We're only on round 10. They could bring it back. For sure, there's room to do that. But from what we've been seeing, maybe it's a little too late.
A lot of that comeback potential coming from Valliate right now in my eyes. Despite being pretty low on the scoreboard with 4 kills, the 4 kills that he has found have been from the back of that B site, being able to find some really good impact and at minimum holding back the T1 push for a few seconds and at best completely delaying it, allowing for his team to rotate. He's done that at least twice now. Considering that 100 Thieves only has 3 rounds to their name, I'd say that's a pretty heavy contribution, all things considered.
Yeah. They've been doing that peek down into ropes time and time again against Venerated, who's on the operator. The fault line and then move in. Nice play with the dark cover there. As soon as that wall breaks, now they've got ropes control. Crashes it all the way through, and Pride, the man who's been trying to hold on. Another B approach. Valliate gets the spot with the camera. Gets the cage. The wall is down, but they're now stopping, waiting for this. Yes! Food onto Pride, shuts it down, and the approach with Paranoia, but Venerated down the stairs. They've slowed them down. They've made them fall back all the way. Hiko finds another one too, who is crashies lurking in that A heaven. And they've shut this down. The ideas that T1 had gone. And we might be seeing 4 rounds now for 100 Thieves.
Much more consistent stoppages coming in from 100 Thieves. It seems as if they finally read into the strategy from T1, at least when it comes to these B executes, and has tried to lock into it. Might have spoke a little bit too soon though. AZK and Brax make sudden aggressive push out onto 2 different players and strike through, knocking out both of them. That'll give them the sight. Dre is going to use his res ultimate to get Venerated back into the fight, which will bring 100 Thieves back up to 3, evening the manpower from T1, who also still has 3 players up and standing. Question here is, can they pull off the retake? A large majority of their player base pushing back in from heaven right now, and they don't have a lot of intel on post plan. The good news is not necessarily a whole lot of spots they have to check here. Brax, likely going to try to swing in late, find that last second impact. Now they're all going to work its way out, but it misses pretty much everybody there. Brax and AZK find the next 2 pickups. Bring the roster down to just 1 here for the side of 100 Thieves in a round that looks so promising, so good at the beginning. Unfortunately, does not go their way. T1 turn it back and take control of a 7.
AZK and Brax just have this ability to turn things on. In a 3v5 situation, they quickly make it 3v3 on the entry. They take the site. And no matter how many ultimates we have available on the other side, it's not going to be enough for 100 Thieves. And now 3-7 said it was possible. Who knows? Things uncertain for 100 Thieves moving forward. They've been really getting hammered on this B side, and the adjustments that they made and the plays that they made too with the double operators are not working out. Brax going to go boldly outside, and Valliate with the Bucky finds 2. Food, though, will finally trade him. yaBoiDre is on an off angle. There's a res available, but what will that actually do? As the slow orb is right on top of them, they have to fall back. Make sure they have the spike and look at the position from Pride.
It's Valliate stepping up to the plate. Once again, we talked about him before. Pride going to do the same thing from the inside of Market. Looking to pick one up, but he will go down after finding that initial kill. Neural Theft going to be utilized here now. Is Venerated able to swing quickly enough? Unfortunately, no, he is not. crashies hears that coming and does counter it back out in order to give back at least a slight workable advantage here to T1 now that they've been able to split 100 Thieves down to just 1 player on each site.
Hiko's still here, and he knows. He knows what's coming. A couple players up ropes, but he gives it up. This is a showstopper. He's going to have to fight them head on. No hat Cypher makes it difficult, but still Satchel charges in, and Hiko played that brilliantly onto Skadoodle. A good position from him. He knew kind of what was coming in his way based on the information they had out of that B take and the mid presence. Well done from him. He claws back for another round. Now we're now in the final round of the half. And we definitely have a little bit more life from 100 Thieves than in the first game, as they've already accrued 4. But they've got to get this last one. They really do. Attacking side is going to be difficult against what we've seen from T1 time and time again. It's been a solid defense.
Kind of knowing where that attack was coming his way, or at least the other site was the only other option at that point. So low time, he just didn't know the path that his opponents were going to take, since they had mid control. Could have worked through the ropes, which was the actual option, or through long. Okay, what the? Nice one from Skadoodle. Just ends up pre-firing in against Pride and makes his mark beautifully, as it's a headshot to knock him out. And once again, put T1 on the front of this round in a 5v4.
And Pride was the hope of the team for 100 Thieves.
At least when it comes to that mid-hold, he is.
Yeah. Nothing found there, and they've got control completely of mid. They're up in their ropes. They can walk it out. They've left Venerated alone up here. And they're actually going to walk all the way back. Crash is going to lurk through ropes again. Possibly a 3-way pinch for Venerated, and he's in no position to fall back, so he's got to find a couple kills. Otherwise, this round could be over before it even starts. He has the possibility of Shrouded teleporting out of here. But I mean, with the timing of this push, here we go. A dark cover over. Yes, that gives him the room to actually fall back and back into the sights. Nobody, though, backing him up. They do hear the flashpoint now. Finally, Sage is going to walk over, but they've got control of A Heaven.
Moving in, we are going to see an attempted port over to Venerated, but it will get denied and sent right back to where it came from. Venerated with the next lineup eliminates a very important player from the T1 roster. Brax is going to get knocked out, hopping AZK around the corner, finds a trade, and they'll just continue going back and forth, 1-for-1s on both ends of the equation. That eventually brings us down to what is now a 2 versus 2, given Hiko's most recent kill. Skadoodle's going to try to push it further, but Valliate swings out, finds him. Food will take out Hiko, though, and this falls to a 1v1. Valliate going to use the Neural Theft to get the position of the last man standing from the other side. Now, can he leverage it, though? No, it actually messes him up because he thinks he's going to be at a much closer angle when in reality, Food wide swung over to the other side of that one and takes the win on the duel.
Half is in the microwave. Food is ready with the 3K. Dominant from him to close the half out for T1. 8-4. It almost looked good for 100 Thieves. It was so close with the Neural Thefts. But unfortunately, The Omen is too good with the teleport to outplay that wall hack that you get in that instant from Neural Thefts. And he looks up, changes the position of his crosshair. No chance. And now a tough ride, a tough journey. Back up the scoreboard, back up. In the deficit that they have against T1, 8-4. But they did start a little bit of something on that other side. They might have found some energy, might have found some momentum. What they need now, though, is this pistol round, and they have not been successful in that out of the 3 that we've seen so far. So if they want to hang on, if they want to bring this back to a third map, it needs to be right here, right now, with some mid-aggressiveness through. Nobody watching that at all, and they've got all the way up to ropes. This could be really difficult for AZK and crew to hang on, but there's 3 here.
A couple tap attempts coming out here from T1 roster to hold it back. As you had mentioned, though, Pinch already working its way through mid. AZK and Food shut down the first 2 players that try to swing in. Paranoia is going to hit Food pretty heavily, but he sends it back and gets the visual cue to get at least 1 kill before he goes down to Dre there. Dre now going to be stuck in position, waiting for the rest of his heal to go off. Hiko will group up to try and clear out top ramp real quick. The problem isn't up here, it's down in the cubby that they have to worry about another player being in position. Dre makes quick work to eliminate him. 100 Thieves certainly trying their best to rally in this round here, despite the disadvantage that have been thrown their way, and Dre is a big part of that. A 3rd kill now going in his direction with the elimination of Skadoodle. They're still stuck at the bottom of ramp leading into A, waiting to see T1's going to make a move against them. And we will start to see that a little bit here. Hiko being forced back, and crashies just shows up with the double kill to end it all. He picks it up. Hiko will kill crashies from the grave, but the impact has already been made, and T1 has already taken the round.
And just like we talked about, they needed that pistol. They needed it bad. Unfortunately, they don't grab it. It looked like they were actually making progress back into that round. Hiko and crew. The way that they were pinched from all sides, they stopped that one player who was down in the cubby. And then even found another one. They started to get the space, but unfortunately crashies falls right into them and finishes them off before they can get out of the pickle that they were in now. And eco rounds, and they have to be desperate on this one. They have to do something. At least do some economy damage, if not win the rounds. I know it's not likely, but with the scoreline as it is, it has to happen. crashies is going to spot 1. I don't think they spotted a second, though, so maybe some information is hidden. Sage is up there. That's AZK with the ghost.
Tripwire destroyed.
Keep on, that's still flawless pistols coming off that last round, too, for T1. 4 for 4 here. Valliate going to start to work his way in, but Brax will shut him down. crashies going to actually push through the ice to try and pick one up, and he may not even be needed. All the kills are going into T1's favor, except for that one right there. Venerated so far, the only player to pick up a kill against the opposing team's roster on this round, and it seems as though it will remain that way. T1 now into double digits at 10-4 against their opponent. Only 3 more rounds away now from closing out the series in 2-0 fashion.
It's crazy. Whenever I watch crashies, I see him obviously playing the Cypher, playing the anchor on one of the sites, but no matter what, he always seems to end up behind the team who just took the site after maybe picking 1 or 2 off, giving it up and then coming on a big flank. That time over towards B main. He makes it work and holds on to the anti-eco and holds on basically to the hopes that 100 Thieves is trying to catch and bring back into their possession, stealing it. But so far, nothing has been found. The gun round now for 100 Thieves. But slow as the approach defaults is not really too aggressive to take any space. Not even peeking towards A. They do have a little bit of presence.
No more charges left.
On Hiko down in B main. And finally now Valliate moving forward on this A ramp, but there's 3 here. They're playing such a good setup. Valliate's going to find 1 possibly, but then the swing around the corner, but Pride is there too. But 1 more player that they don't expect, it's Food, and he's got him right in his sights. Pride and Valliate go down, and it's all left to the 3 over here on the other side, and because of that, they're going to opt to go to the other side, which is B. And we know who's lurking right in the corners there. It's crashies again, and we've seen what he's done on these rounds.
Had a little bit of a quieter map so far, but that doesn't mean he hasn't shown up when he's needed to. That's the big key thing. He hasn't really been needed for a lot of these rounds, so that might explain why his scoreboard has been a bit quieter than what we've seen in some of the previous matches. He's got a chance right here, though, but he's going to get nearsighted. Push comes to shove. Thankfully, Skadoodle's also here to help him out. crashies will swing, find his own first target. Dre will take out Skadoodle, leaving him, for the moment at least, alone here. It's not going to stay that way for very long. More rotates on the way. Dre, though, picking up a second kill, eliminates crashies. He's going to try to go for the default plan. He knows he's got another player up in heaven. Is trying to watch out for a repeat on that. Apparently doesn't leave himself a lot of time to secure the plant, but at least gets the job done, and now can focus on the 1v1. In fact, he's even going to push it a little bit further. Brings Hiko up. Hiko should get insta-refrag here by Food, and he finds the next one right after that. Food with the 1v2 clutch. Really a 1v1 clutch, but he killed 2 people, so it's technically a 1v2 clutch. Is going to take this round and continue to push the advantage even further for T1.
It's a TV dinner for Food, and the story I'm watching, I want to binge. 21 kills, 9 deaths for Food. Ridiculous scoreline against 100 Thieves. And really putting the question to them, how do we respond? It looks like he's there every time. They might find a couple of kills in the round, they might get a couple of trades, but ending up right in Food's crosshair no matter what to seal the deal. T1 is on a roll, 11-4 now. They bring it. It's a two rounds, sorry, until they win and clinch out the series and bring themselves a really nice seed in the bracket for tomorrow.
Pretty huge deficit over their opponents too, so probably very little stress on a T1 now that they've secured another round for themselves. Only really have to bide their time. They can perfectly, just trade out rounds back to back with 100 Thieves, and as long as they're taking every second one or so, they're still going to be in perfectly fine shape to be able to close out this map and take it 2-0. Venerated for 100 Thieves will lead the charge, pushing into heaven. Rest of the team, as you can see, very much attached to him. No one on T1 is going to make an attempt to strike back against that. crashies going to have to be here. Food also falls very quickly, as does crashies. Able to get one, but that's it so far. A very good execute from 100 Thieves. Rotates are on the way, however, as Skadoodle starts it off on the retake with that opening frag against Hiko.
A big teleport from Venerated down into the hell position. Brax on top of him. They might actually have to back off, but with the round lead that they have, almost no chance. Skadoodle dives right on top of Venerated. A difficult shot. He finds 3, and Brax with the remaining player. The spike already being defused. The confidence on this team of T1 is astounding as they march their way to victory. 12-4, and we're getting ever closer to the end of this set, to the end of this group. We might see T1 with a 3-0 at the end of the day. It's looking very, very likely. We only need one more round for T1.
One more round separates them from the first seed position coming out of their group. It was owned by 100 Thieves due to the round differential prior to this, but will no longer be the case if we end up seeing T1 come out with just one more round. They'll take it away and take first seed here for Group C. 100 Thieves, of course, will still be making it through with a 2-1 record, but they will take the second seed position. Take a look at the opener of the round here. A little bit of a dodge from the members of 100 Thieves as they try to get stunned right off the bat. Not going to end up going through. That will mean an ult orb goes into the hand of T1's Breach.
Shadows traveling.
Food by himself for once on the A ramps. With this approach, he's been good for 2 or maybe even 3 on top of it. With the flashpoint in from the Breach, but no. It doesn't matter for Valliate. They find Food. Unfortunately, the timing wasn't perfect. They did blind him, but he's a little too late for that one. There's still 2 players here. Up on top, Brax is up here, but only one player going to be looking towards this A ramps. He's going to be by himself. He can fall into his other teammate, but if there's a split, which isn't happening, so he doesn't have to worry about that at all. He might actually be able to do really nice with Skadoodle on this as well. Brax will peek around the corner. 2 and 3. Venerated comes down the ramps finally, which is what he needed to worry about, but he got the job done. 2 players left against 3. Hiko, one of them. There's still a possibility, but there's one player lurking around the box, and Hiko doesn't even know, but AZK is not going to be able to confirm the kill. Finally does. Venerated by himself. He gets into the sights, but gets sent back, and this might be it. The swan song for 100 Thieves is Venerated.
Oh, no.
Doesn't even find the one as they go through into the A site. No chance here.
And that is going to close it out, ladies and gentlemen. T1 take the second map 13-4 and are going to claim the series in 2-0 fashion with that second map going under their control. Just too much firepower working too strongly in the midst of these rounds for 100 Thieves to fight against. 100 Thieves overall, though, still a very impressive group run. They will still make it through Group C.